Good morning. Today I'm going to test drive the Hoffmeister violin. I'm going to get some strings on a few instruments and do a bit of gluing. So I'm just adjusting this because I re-glued it and it wasn't fitting 100% in the first place. I have to just adjust a tiny bit on where it's connected to the rest of the instrument here. I'll use a scraper. Obviously, being an old instrument, I try and touch as little of the original wood as possible. But I do have to do a very tiny bit of adjusting on this side here. But that's very little. I will use a little bit of sandpaper around the neck here. It does get a smoother finish, especially around the neck. Okay, I'm using a finer grade now, and 400 grade, which is going to be the finest grade I use. I will now wet this whole area, and once it's dried, the grain should have come up a little bit. Let's have a quick look. Checking that the sandpaste is in the right place and all that. Okay, it's might have to shorten it slightly as well. Yeah, it's a bit too long. I'll go next door and just shorten it a bit. Okay, I'll just use my workshop sandpaste adjuster here. So shorten that sandpaste and put it back in. Okay, that's done. Yep, I am very happy with that, so I'm gonna hang that up. Here it is now. Fantastic, so now it's time to keep going. Okay, I'm going to glue, there are some open joints here. The repairer has done some really interesting things. He's actually inlaid these reinforcements in here, and they seem to have held quite well. I'm not a fan of inlaying reinforcements like that because he looks like he used a router to route into the instrument. So that's not the way I do repairs. But definitely, you know, it's interesting. It seems to have mostly held, like this section here hasn't held well. All I need to do here is actually just glue the crack back together. So this is a flood victim cello. So got my glue ready, got my clamp ready, so I'm just gonna glue this. So I'm just rubbing glue into the cracked area here. That's together really nicely, like I know if I just put a clamp on, that'll glue really beautifully. Not much else I need to do. There we go. Yeah, that's looking really good. Might just put a clamp on. I'm gonna let that dry now. Okay. I'll sand, just do some more sanding up here. But really there's two repairs I've nearly had finished for a while. I actually want to get them fully finished. Just moist this off a little bit. I'm actually putting a bit of glue on there to allow that to soak in as an underground, like a ground for underneath the varnish I'm going to use. And it stops the it'll stop the ground from soaking in. Fantastic, that's good. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, I need to just lower the nut here because I planed the fingerboard. Actually, I don't need to lower it, I just need to lower the string grooves. Had a bridge for it. I'm gonna put on a new tailpiece, but I put that on the invoice. This will be good. She lent out this violin to a student and it came back in pieces. The student hadn't used it for a while, and then it literally ended up, the fingerboard had fallen out, the neck had fallen off. It was quite tragic. But it's looking really beautiful again. So she's gonna totally love getting her violin back. And it's one that had been in the family for a while as well. I magically finished putting on all the strings. So now it's a matter of adjusting the sound post. So I'm going to leave this sit. I'm going to hang it up and then leave it sit till later in the afternoon. It's beautiful, isn't it? Doesn't it look incredible? And it was actually mass produced, manufactured in Dresden, Saxony. So that's interesting. It looks very much like the violin from the Falkland area. Okay, I'm going to take off for lunch and I'll be back straight after. All right. That was a fairly busy afternoon, but not in the workshop. Like I said, I've been building a storeroom. It's coming along nicely. Time to look back how this is all coming together. So I will put just a clear coat of varnish onto this area here. So that's the first coat of just clear varnish. And then I'll be retouching over the top of that. I'll be doing that tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to give the violin a bit of a polish. All right, I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit and then I will do the retouching. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit more retouching and I'm gonna call it quits for the day. Got to get some clear varnish on here, and then I'll have to let it dry. That's looking really good. I'm actually really happy with the way that's coming together, especially on this side here. So I'm going to let that dry overnight now, and I'll keep going in the morning. So I'll see you in the morning, guys. Yes, it's dragging out to 3 days, but that's life. Good morning. It's another beautiful day in paradise. I went for a walk this morning. Yeah, this morning we had a meeting in a cafe, just planning out the next few videos. Now I'm gonna get straight into finishing this violin because I want to try and get it sent today. Look how the retouching, it's actually turned out really quite nicely. I've got to do a little bit more work, as you can see, but I'm already very pleased with it. And yeah, I want to get the strings on early. Need to keep polishing the instrument. It's looking fairly good, but it needs a good polish. Got to get into the varnishing. Okay, so doing a bit more retouching, trying to get it all looking beautifully. This is actually a lot of fun. You know, when you're young and you're at school and you always had to do all this work, and then the teacher would say, today we're gonna paint something or draw something, and it's just fun. It's a bit like that. Today I'm gonna paint a violin. So I'm gonna put some clear varnish over the area I've just gone over. Also, I'm going to actually glue the nut back on so I can get ready to put the strings on. I'm really hoping to get this looking good enough before lunch so I can put the strings on. If we send the violin just before 4 p.m. today, it should arrive tomorrow, because I don't know if she has a concert this weekend, but it's Thursday today, by the way. So it'd be awesome if she got her violin back. I know how much she loves her violin. But this is, the way this is glued is more solid now than it has been probably for the last 50 years. So that's really nice. While I'm there, I'm putting a bit of varnish on the hand patch here because she does play a lot and these areas can get worn. So I do need to protect them. Gonna let this dry. Alrighty, okay, so I've let this dry a bit. I just realized I really have to glue this nut on. There we go. So that's glued on. Okay, I am ready to do some polishing. The music's just been so beautiful, but I turn it down a little. So yeah, I'm ready to polish this violin, and then this afternoon I'll put the strings on and we're going to send it later this afternoon. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to sand over it once it's dry, and then I'll polish it again. Okay, it's just before lunch. I'm just going to give this a quick sand and then I'll go on lunch, and then after lunch I'll put the strings on. I put a bit of water on the sandpaper so that kind of works better. You can also use oil, but here I like to use water because it actually makes the varnish a bit harder. Just got to be really careful not to sand off all the work that I've done, and that would be kind of frustrating. Okay, now I'll polish over it one more time, and then I'll wait till after lunch. I'll put the strings on. Fantastic, that's great. I am happy with that. So after lunch I will put the strings on. Okay, I'm back from lunch. I just have to put this violin together and get it ready to send. Just double check that I'm happy with everything. Yeah, so I'm very happy with the way that's come together. So I'm going to put the strings on and get this violin back to the owner as quickly as possible. Got to adjust the sound post. Okay, I'm just going to test it out in the shop next door, and then we're going to package it to send. That is absolutely gorgeous. I am very happy with that. Look at it. How beautiful is this? But I really love it. So I think she's going to be really happy with it. She's taking this violin on a tour to Europe. I think she's going to be super happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to put it in her case. We will pack it up, ready to go. Okay, so put the violin all packed up, ready to go. So Crowley's gonna just put the receipt in there, and we will send it off back to Cairns. So that's it for me. The day in the life ended up becoming 3 days in the life. I just really wanted to show you the end of like this repair. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a good insight into my life and what I do as a violin maker. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell so you find out every time I post a new video. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time, and keep making beautiful music. Bye.